All right, great, guys. So for a BSPU call, as I always say, I'm going to get started in just a second. I'm going to hit record. I got my iPhone set up right there where I'm going to record 7 or 8 minutes. I'm then going to hand it right over to my 17-year-old son who's in the office today. Proud of him because we both got back in at 1:30 in the morning. And he's then going to do some editing of the video, and we're going to throw it right up on Facebook and run some traffic to it, and then use that to build retargeting audiences, is blah, 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 stuff that I teach you guys, and I'll talk more about that. I'm going to talk about one of my clients' books, Robert Rolih, $1 Million Decision, how he's using the book, and what he should be doing in addition. So this will give you guys some great ideas, okay? So let's get started right here. Hey guys, Rob Kosberg here from Bestseller Publishing. Cool training here for you today. I'm going to be talking about one of my clients' books, Robert Rolih, who wrote The $1 Million Decision, and how Robert is using his book to grow his business. But also, I'm going to do a little critique, and I'm going to start doing this on a regular basis, and I'm going to talk about things that Robert should be doing with his book besides what he's already doing. Let me give you a little bit of background on Robert. Robert's from Slovenia. He does large events in the European Union, all throughout the UK, and he educates his clients on matters of finance. He is not a financial advisor, so he's not attracting people to invest money with him, but he is teaching financial literacy, and he's teaching investors how to be smarter with their investments. So he does his own large events all over, as I said, the EU. He has a $2,000 home study course, and he also has a 5-figure, what he calls Inner Circle, which is a mastermind coaching program. He wrote his book because he wanted to increase his authority and his credibility in this space. We helped him launch it. The book did exceptionally well. International bestseller throughout the United States, as well as the UK, EU, Australia, New Zealand, etc. Did fantastic. It's continued to do great. In fact, he has sold the publishing rights to his book to a number of different countries, even just recently throughout the European Union primarily. Really, really cool. He's gotten a couple of great quotes. Brian Tracy is quoted right here on the front of the book. Brian Tracy says, wow, you probably knew that the financial industry is not your friend, but you probably never imagined just how much money you're losing when investing because of it. If you were investing or if you were thinking about investing, read this book now. So great quote from a very, very well-known figure, Brian Tracy. Also, Robert Allen, #1 New York Times bestselling author, also wrote the foreword of this book. So if you reach out to people in your space, and if you build a relationship with them, you can maybe get them to write your forward, etc. So it's awesome what Robert did. But this is one of the things that Robert Allen said. Robert said, investing is a must for all of us, but without the right knowledge, you're not investing, you're gambling with little or no chance of success. This book will give you everything you need to make the best possible investing choices and avoid becoming another victim of the financial industry. So great book, obviously, helps Robert in tremendous ways to grow his business because of the authority, the credibility, and the book is selling organically throughout the world right now. However, Robert is using the book in a couple of really cool ways, and I want to share with you about that. If you go to robertrolih.com, you'll see some different things he's doing. #1, he's using the book as a lead magnet. He's giving away a chapter of the book, which is fine. I actually recommend giving away the whole thing, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But he's using it as a lead magnet and attracting leads on his website. He's also using the book to fill his live events, which I think is super, super smart because it does a couple things. #1, it incentivizes people to actually come to the live events that you're doing. #2, in a kind of backwards, hidden sort of way, it shows your credibility and your authority because Robert is the best-selling author on this topic, The $1 Million Decision. He's obviously taken the time to research, to write this book. He shows incredible case studies. Obviously, he has the foreword and quotes from very, very well-known people. So really cool how he's using the book there. And then the third way he's using the book is in growing his credibility and authority, he's using the book to get on media. Now, we've helped him get on some media, and we're going to help him to do more of that, but he's also doing it on his own, which is something all of you should be doing. So I named a few ways that he's doing it. He's using it on his website again, giving away just a chapter. He's using it to fill his live events, and he's using it to get media attention and build his authority and credibility. Now, what would I add to it? What would I say to Robert? I don't know if Robert is on our BSPU call, but I'm certainly going to be sending him this. Here's what I would do in addition to all the things that Robert's doing. Now, one thing, don't get overwhelmed with all of this stuff, because there's always something else that you could be doing and using your book for. But here's what I would be doing. First of all, the two primary things that he has for sale are the home study course, which is $2,000, and his Inner Circle Mastermind, right? And Robert runs a very, very successful business besides his live events, which it costs money to come to his live events. And then, of course, he makes an offer to all of those people that come. So I would do a couple of things right off the bat. Number one, I would set up a free plus shipping funnel using this book on the front end to sell both event tickets and VIP event tickets, you know, getting people right into the event, number one. And number two, I would have a free plus shipping funnel where I would offer people on the back end of that funnel one of two things. And you could do, you know, multiple different versions of a free plus shipping funnel where you can do that. So what I would do is I would offer that free plus shipping funnel with a strategy call on the back end of it. One of the things that Robert offers on his website, not connected with his book, is a strategy session call for people that are investors or who are looking for some financial help with their investments. And Robert could offer this best-selling book, again, super credible, Brian Tracy, Robert Allen, you know, writing the forward, best-selling book. He could offer it for free, plus say a $6.95 shipping charge, and then lead those people directly in to a one-on-one strategy session consultation. What you know immediately is that the people see you as credible because they're willing to pull out their wallet and pay at least $6.95. Anytime somebody's pulling out a credit card, the quality of the lead goes through the roof. So we know immediately that Robert would have a high quality opportunity for someone on a strategy session. That's number one. Number two thing I would do with it is I would lead it right to the information product. In other words, you're offering the book for free, plus the shipping cost. The credit card information is already put in, $6.95. And then from there, you could lead them to either splinters of his $2,000 home study course. In other words, you could splinter out pieces of that you're selling for $97 or $197. Or you could go right to, say, an automated presentation of some kind, right from, you know, the free plus shipping funnel. And then that automated presentation could then sell the $2,000 home study course without Robert ever having to be involved in the first place. This is working for people right now, clients of ours, as well as friends of mine that have books and that are using their books in conjunction with this free plus shipping funnel. So that's the first thing that I would do, is I would find a way to offer this book for free plus a small shipping charge where you ship it to the people, and then either lead them to a one-on-one strategy session call or lead them directly to the offer itself, the $2,000 home study course, or a splinter version of that $2,000 home study course, like a $97 piece of it that's very attractive, or a $197 piece of it that's very attractive. So there you go. Those are my thoughts and ideas as far as how to use the book. Robert's already using it in great ways. It's creating a tremendous return on investment for him already. So he's already made a huge amount of money. All he needs to do now is continue using it and find new ways to get this book into the hands of his ideal client. So there you go. That's our book use case study for you today. Robert Rolih's book, The $1 Million Decision. Buy it. Great, great book. Check it out. And I'm going to talk to Robert and make sure that he starts implementing some of the things that we're talking about. We'll be doing this on a regular basis for you as well, so you can learn from others and use your best-selling book in the same ways that we're teaching our clients to use it as well. So that's that. Great to be with you. Rob Kosberg from Bestseller Publishing. You can find us at bestsellerpublishing.org. All right, guys, there you go. That's 10 minutes or so of training on how Robert is using his book and should be using his book in conjunction with a free plus shipping funnel. So what questions do you have for me? Liz says, great info, thank you. You are super, super welcome. What can I answer for you? Glenn says, short and sweet, but great ideas. Thanks, you're welcome. Robert is using it. Where a lot of people make a mistake, Glenn, is they expect the book to do all the work for them organically. And the book will do some work for you organically. People will find you because they found the book and they had never heard of you. But the reality is, if you can get this book, not organically, but proactively into the hands of your ideal clients, you are going to shortcut your success massively, and you're going to get a great return on investment, which will in turn allow you to invest more money to get the book into more people's hands, and so on and so forth. So it's a matter of figuring out cool ways to do that. So that's for Robert. I have some others that I'm going to be doing over the next couple weeks that I'm going to be sharing with you guys and pumping out some content that would be helpful. So what else can I answer for you? What questions do you have for me about ways that you can use your book, or any questions in general about the process? I am here for you. So Liz says, do you have any ideas on how one can push their soft launch? Okay, so Liz, there's really only a couple primary ways to push your soft launch. The first is if you have an audience already, right? People that are following you. If you have a social media following, if you have an email list, if you have things like that, then obviously there are cool ways that you can push your soft launch directly out to your list. Most of our clients don't have a big list, a big social media following. So if you do, then great. You want to push it out to your list. You want to email your list. You want to let them know, perhaps you want to give away some bonuses or some bonus trainings that relate to your book, things of that nature. Because your lists are at least 1 or 2 degrees separated from you, meaning that they're not exactly your friends, right? I have 50,000 plus people on my list. They're not really my friends, but they're still close enough to me that they've opted in. They know my stuff. They know the content that I put out. And so they would be interested in the next thing that I'm going to do. Now, if you're like most and you don't have a big list and a big social media following, then really it's a matter of elbow grease. And so what we suggest for your soft launch, your review phase, is you want to start connecting with as many of your friends, acquaintances, business associates, current clients, past clients, etc., and send them both a link to the book. Remember, the digital version of the book is what you want to focus on, 99 cents, and you want to ask them personally to help you. So it would be something like this. Let's say it's me and you, Liz. Liz, hey, it was great having you on our BSPU call the other day. I hope that my ideas helped you, with getting your soft launch going. Listen, I need a favor from you, though, if you have a minute. I am launching my own book, and for the next 2 weeks, it's 99 cents. And what I'd love for you is, I'm only letting my friends and like business associates know, because I don't want to let the world know that it's reduced all the way to 99 cents. And so for my friends, I've reduced it to that. But in exchange, I'd love for you to read a couple of chapters and then write a review for me of that book. So please take a minute, download the book now. I would type that in an email. I would type that in a Facebook message. I would type that in a text message, something that I connect with people directly and personally, okay? So it's either, through a list or through personal connections. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how you push it. And the harder you work, the better it's going to be. If you want 20 reviews, then you need to send out 50, 60 emails, Facebook messages, text messages. Gene says, is BSP also helping when your ideal client is not so clear yet? Second question, should we communicate the title of the book before publication? Jean, is BSP also helping when your ideal client is not so clear yet? So Jean, if what you're asking is in our book writing program or our hybrid ghostwriting program, which these are done for you programs, will we help you if your ideal client is not so clear? Yes. We'll brainstorm it with you. That's actually something Bob or David or even myself on one of these calls could do to help you a bit. So yes, we can give you some clarity and help you, but it's going to be a lot of us questioning you and trying to dig deep with you on who it is that you're serving and want to serve. Jean's second question is, should we communicate the title of the book before publication? And the answer is yes, if you're absolutely positive on the title of your book. I would also communicate the cover. I would give the whole cover of it with the title out and start to wet people's whistle as to it coming out. So absolutely nothing wrong with that. Totally cool to do it. And obviously, bigger following you have, social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc., really helpful. Wendy says, would you use your book as a download just to get the email address, or is the hard copy the best way? So I would use my book as a download, like a PDF download to get an email address. I would. But so the answer is yes. And the answer to your second part of your question is yes also. You said, or is the hard copy the best way? The hard copy is absolutely the best way, because in exchange for this, I want something, right? I want more than an email. Yes, it's for sale for $20 online, as an example. I don't know what Robert's is for sale for, but it's for sale for $20 online, or I will ship it to you for just $6.95. But you've got to pull out your credit card. You've got to put the numbers in. You've got to click submit. You've got to give me your address, your telephone number, etc. That is a much higher quality lead for you than just someone giving their email address. So it depends, Wendy, on what your goal is in lead generation. If it's just to get email addresses, then there's other ways to do it with content in your book. But if you want a great lead that could buy something in addition from you, like a free plus shipping funnel that leads to product sales, or if you want to send them a very, very high quality lead to a strategy session call, then using your book and the physical version of it is a great way to do it. Chad says, what sort of program or piece of program would I use if my book, Wake Up Your Retirement, and I really just want the ability to earn their business? I get paid by way of commissions. However, there's a lot of value I feel I bring to the table and strategies that very few know or understand because it's not the status quo. So Chad, so Wake Up Your Retirement, you're more of a financial advisor, right, that's getting paid on commissions for things that you do than Robert is. Robert is selling information products, right, live events, etc. So clearly it's a little bit of a different model than Robert, but it's the same kind of idea. You need people that are raising their hands saying, hey, I'm interested in your subject matter. So I would put your subject matter, and you have a good title, right, that's attracted to a person that, right, is getting ready to retire or thinking about retirement and has either some money or needs to start putting some money away. So absolutely, positively, you need to get that book in front of people. How do you do that? You can do that with Facebook marketing, right? You can do it with Instagram marketing. You can have your own local live events, which I know many financial advisors do. I have a client, I don't have his book right here on my desk. I got tons of our clients' books on my desk here. But he uses his book to fill his local live events, which a lot of people, a lot of financial advisors will do, like a really nice dinner at a steakhouse and that kind of thing. He actually doesn't do that, but he uses his book as a free giveaway and also as a credibility piece to attract people into his local live events. And he did 7 figures last year in commissions because he's a financial advisor selling annuities and insurance and that kind of thing. So you got to figure out the best way to get this book in front of your ideal client. If you're primarily local Facebook marketing is great to do because you can target all your local zip codes, etc. Sean says, thanks, Rob. I'm not sure how the program is called. I'm in, but I would love the conversation about the ideal clients. Sean, who is your author development coach? Was it Bob or was it David? I can ask either one of them. And I can get them to David. John says David. Okay, great. Then I'll work on getting that worked out for you, my friend. Chad says strategy call is what I'm after. So So Chad, I posted on Facebook today. I'll show you. I'll share my screen in just a second. So I posted this on Facebook today about strategy session calls that I just got back, as I mentioned, from Hawaii last night at 1:30 in the morning. And let's see. So I posted this. I'll share my screen with you guys so you see it. This will give you an idea what I'm talking about. So I just posted this a couple of hours ago on Facebook. Sweet, 34 new applications to work with BSP in the last 24 hours. Love it when the team is crushing while I'm in Hawaii. P.S. If you're not using your book to get appointments for your business, very thing you want, via Facebook, Instagram, and social, then why not? Do you hate helping people? Do you hate money? Do you want to stay hidden from the world? So, you know, the stuff that I'm talking about that we're doing is, you know, using the book in conjunction with social media advertising and marketing, right? Putting this book in front of ideal clients and then basically saying, hey, look, you know, if you're interested in this book, then either A, you can download, say you want to do it and just get an email, a telephone number, and a name. You can download the PDF version of it for free, even though it's selling right now on Amazon for $9.95. Or I will ship it to your house, this is something you can do yourself. You know, for my financial services company 10 years ago, when I was doing this with my book, we were shipping it directly out of the office. Like, you know, people would call in the office for the book, or they'd call a radio station for the book, and we just shipped it directly to them and had a phone consultation when they called in, or when they left the information on our website, we then called them, confirmed the address, had a phone consultation right with them. Now that may be way more, you know, 34 in the last 24 hours. I can't do all of those calls, right? I have author development coaches. I have Austin, I have David, I have Bob that are doing all of these calls. I don't have to do them all myself. But obviously, you know, if I was just looking for 2 or 3 or 4 calls a day from potential qualified people, then I would put my book in front of them in conjunction with some type of advertising on Facebook, on Instagram, social media. I'd create some content that explains what it is about this book that's great, and then let them come to me based on maybe age demographic or income range or investable assets or something like that. Hopefully that makes sense. You don't need to create a whole program. Just get them into a phone call, because that's your model. Let's see. Chad says to everyone, incredible. Yeah, totally. I mean, you can do this, right? I mean, in fact, you know, we need to, that's too many calls for us to even handle. We need to scale that back a little bit. I could scale it up. We could be doing 50, 100 of these every single day. The traffic is there to get it. And if it's there for me, it's certainly there for you as well, and targeted. So, you know, this may be of interest to you. Some of you know one of my business partners and good friend, longtime buddy, Kevin Hutto, is like a Facebook guru, ninja. And he and I are doing some new Facebook stuff together, which may be helpful to you guys. We may, you know, do a training on something along the Facebook lines that would be really, really helpful to you. Some of you also know I talk about Shanda a lot. We helped Shanda with her book, Core Calling. And I taught Shanda a process, and Kevin ran her ads. And in a 30-day period, she put on a 2-day live event, which I taught her the entire structure for. This is something that we do about every other month here at BSP. And Kevin ran the ads for her. She had about 80 people in the room. Day 2 was a little less, like 60, 65. She did $325,000 in sales to these 65 people, who 90% of these people had never heard of her before. It was a local event. So there's lots of ways to use your book in conjunction with a direct strategy session call or a free event or various other things. If these things are interesting to you guys, then I can do a more substantial training on it. Maybe bring Kevin in, and Kevin and I could both do like an hour-long call that deals with you know, how this works and how to set it up and that sort of thing. Liz says, yes, please. Great. All right, what other questions do you have for me? We've been going about 30 minutes, so a lot of good stuff. Hopefully, don't forget the stuff that I talked about in the beginning, how Robert is using it and how Robert should continue to use it. You need to think in terms, the same kind of terms for your book based on what it is your goals are, whether it's live events or a one-on-one call or to sell some type of product or service. So there you go. That's all I have for you today, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. I look forward to chatting with you next week. You guys are the best, and talk to you next Tuesday.